In this video, guys, I've got some mindset and mental tips for trading volatile conditions. Stay tuned. Hey traders, warm welcome to you. Thank you for joining me. All right, so mental tips, mental toughness is super important on the best of times of trading, but even more so when we're trading volatile conditions. So I need some ideas that I try to stick to, and I know that some of the best traders as well try to stick to under volatile conditions, and some of the traps we can fall into. And guys, I'm going to hold my hands up and tell you some of the ones that I fall into as well, which I know don't best serve me, but the quicker we can kind of recognize them and fall out and step out of them, the quicker we can get back into maximum efficiency. All right, so the first thing is sleep. Yes, I know it seems a bit boring, but honestly, if we're not sleeping, we're not going to be able to make those really tough decisions, which we're going to get with trading. We're going to be like, listen, I don't want to cut, I've got to cut this position. I think I should take, all that cognitive load we have, we need to be on our sharpest. And the desire to stay up and watch the markets is high. And listen, I've fallen into this trap time and time before, but I know that it doesn't serve me. I might do it once and go, listen, this is stupid. It's 4:30 a.m. You're watching the futures because they're swinging around. It's pointless. All you're going to do now is have to get up in 3 hours time, and you're going to be absolutely stuffed for the day. And of course, happens, you're like, well, I can't trade because I'm tired. So you've ruined the opportunity. And so you just have to be very strict and say, listen, stuff's going on. There's news flow hitting the wires, but I need to be efficient and ready for my little window of opportunity, which is whenever you like to trade, rather than being a zombie. And it doesn't make any sense. Or listen, if you're not trading it, and fine, stay up and watch it and sleep whenever, and just use it as a useful learning tool to see what happens in futures in market or in whatever you're watching, or if you're watching the currency market. So just make sure you're strict with sleep, guys. Like I say, I've made an error myself when I was just staying up, just watching stuff a little bit too much and thinking, hey, listen, you're not going to be able to hit stuff as hard as you want to if you're not really well rested. And I'd like to have a decent sleep. So have your decent sleep, see what happens, come in and get ready to smash it the next day. All right, so number 2 is keep your diet and health optimal. Again, a little bit boring, but it's for the brain, guys. It's very easy, and I don't do it anymore, but I have done this before, where I've just let my health and diet slip when conditions are volatile. You take the easy food and you're eating it in front of your desk. You're not going to the gym, you're not doing all your exercise, and before you know it, you're starting to put on weight is the obvious thing, and then you're just starting to feel sluggish about things. Your blood flow is not going. It's kind of one of those things that you don't get an instant benefit from, but you know that you will get a benefit from, like the sleep. So, and it's hard, and it takes discipline to do this, because the market may well be going crazy. And I like to hit the gym or go for a swim or something in the morning, and I like, okay, well, the European market, yeah, but you want to be fresh for the US market, or I'll choose one or the other. You either trade them all very averagely and mainly make nothing or lose money, or you trade one specific section very well, or if you've got a swing position on and you're just going to monitor it, then we'll choose which to do. So make sure that you keep your health in check, your diet in check, and it's super tempting to stay in front of the screens, guys, because it's interesting, right? We all love to see the markets, we all love to see stuff going on. I get it, right? We want to see what's happening. It's exciting, apart from the trading thing, because we're interested in markets, we're interested to see how people respond to things. But hey, you've got to be very disciplined enough to say, no, I'm going to take a couple of hours out to do whatever I need to do with my health, and making sure that you're buying the right kind of food. You're not just saying, oh, I'll just get takeaway or whatever it may be. Taking the time to get the nutrition. And also another thing, guys, is drinking. I'm being very mindful in this volatility to make sure that I'm drinking water, because generally if we're sitting in front of the screen watching this stuff, we tend to forget. Before you know it, you've done a day, you haven't drunk that much water. It's not that great. Now listen, I'm not a nutritionist, but I just know that we should be having a decent amount of water in a day. Okay, number 3, use limits, not market orders. Now this is something, a little bit of a mind hack as well, is that when you're using a limit order, what you can do is it makes you feel as if you're involved with the market. So let's say the market's swinging around at a level where you kind of want to get involved in it, but you're not sure, you can't find a trade. Sometimes you get that feeling where, I want to take a trade. No, I prefer to wait for it to be here. Oh no, I want to take a trade. And you're kind of battling back and forward with your mind. It's a great trade here. Should I take it? Should I wait? Should I take it? Should I wait? A good hack for that, guys, is stick a limit in. because then you've kind of solved the decision for you. You're like, okay, I'm waiting for that limit order to be here. And it makes you feel more comfortable that you're doing something. You're like, you're not going to miss it because your limit order's in. And if it goes without, you're like, well, didn't hit my limit. It's a little bit annoying, but it's not as if you didn't take it. You'd made the decision. So you kind of make a decision by putting the limit in, as opposed to not putting the limit in and saying, I'll wait till it gets there. All of a sudden, that decision is still going on ahead. It's a strange thing. You're saying, oh, should I take it now? Should I go a little bit earlier? Whereas when you got the limit in, it's done. The decision is made. That's what I'm taking the trade when it hits the limit. And it's a good little hack, that. Number 4 is ignore opinion, especially in the current conditions. When I'm filming this, guys, it's the coronavirus. You could be watching this at any point in time, but there's great people who have a very valid argument for a bull thesis. And there's great people who have a very valid argument for a bear thesis. And the trouble you have is that if you listen to both of those, you're like, well, they both seem pretty sensible. What do I do? And you then don't have the conviction for the trade, because maybe you're in a long and then you're thinking about that guy who sounds very credible talking about the bear thesis, like, oh, I'll just take my profit now. And it's very difficult to have the conviction to hold the trade. So be very mindful about listening to opinion. I know it's difficult because you want to be informed, you want to see what's happening, you want to understand what news flows move in the markets, but maybe stick to the facts and watch out for the opinion. All right, guys, the final thing is use stops. Yes, it's self-explanatory. If you don't use stops, this market can completely wipe you out, because it will go further than you expect it to go. The moves can be bigger than you expect them to go. And when they have gone a certain level and you're in the trade and you're underwater, you know that you'll be reacting in a completely fight or flight situation. You won't be looking at it objectively and logically and waiting for your opportunity and cutting it. You won't be. So use the stops to protect your mental capital and to protect your financial capital. Now, the width of the stops, of course, probably going to have to be wider. You don't want to have tight stops. Don't have the death by 1,000 cuts syndrome and get stopped. You're better off, widening it out and saying, okay, well, it gives a bit of room, allows for a bit of noise, and taking fewer trades than you are trying to be really tight with it and just getting pinged out, because the noise is just, massive bits of noise. You've got 100 points worth of noise in the Dow at the moment. And the final thing, guys, is, live to fight another day. Super important that if you have that in your mind as your number one goal, then hopefully every decision that you make during the trading day will be with that underlying thing, live to fight another day. So you hopefully will have that in your subconscious, and that'll always be sitting there, live to fight another day, live to fight another day. So you're not going to do stupid things like trading massive size with no stop or whatever it may be. So those are some things, guys. Nutrition and health, obvious ones, and the sleep, using the limits. I think that's a nice little hack, because it kind of ticks a box in your mind that you're doing something, so you're not going to be kind of constantly thinking about, should do this, do that. You've got something, I'm doing something, I'm proactive about it, ignoring the opinion. And the final thing, of course, is managing that risk. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.